Welcome to another episode of Vanessa's Van Life Journey. If you've watched the last two previous videos, you will know that I am about to do a deconstruction of my van bill. There are several things about my van bill that I am not completely happy or satisfied with, and realize at this point that I can make some changes to the van bill that would better enable me to achieve some more things that I want to do in the van. If you guys have ever built out a van before, you know that this is a tiny space and you know that every inch counts. The way that I frame my walls in, my walls are taking up about 3 to 4 inches on each side. That's a total of 6 to 8 inches that I could be using in my van build. And so I have come to the conclusion that I want those 5 to 6 to 8 inches, and I don't want to lose those inches. So I am about to deconstruct my van in order to gain those inches. The way that I framed up my walls, it is very, very, very sturdy, and everything in the van is very sturdy. There is no right or wrong way to do a van build or anything in life, as long as you're not hurting yourself and hurting anybody else. It's no right or wrong way to do things. However, if you are not happy and you are not satisfied with it yourself, then you've done it wrong. So you have to make the corrections that would make you happy and make you satisfied, and then that is when you have done it right. So in this instance, there is nothing wrong with my van build. There's nothing wrong with the way that I framed it. There's nothing wrong with the walls or the ceiling. However, I just did extra, read all about it. I added extra furring strips. I wanted it to be extra stable, which is gonna add the extra stability that you want, but it's gonna add also extra weight to the van, and it's also going to take up extra width, which that is what it did. It added extra weight and is taking up extra width. I could use that extra weight on other things in the van opposed to in my walls. I pretty much did an overkill of everything. I did an overkill of the framing of the van and the overkill on the ceiling of the van. And so therefore, it's taking up extra inches in the width, and it's adding weight to the van. And I am not too far ahead in my van build where I can change these things. So I am going to go ahead where I can't change these things. So I'm going to go ahead and make these changes because in the back of my mind, they are bothering me. So as you can see, I already removed the cabinet, which was fairly easy to remove, but a little difficult at the same time because I really had it screwed up there. And once I painted the back wall, that wall made the cabinet adhere more. So even though I had took all the screws out, the paint was still holding it up. So as you guys can see, I'm redoing everything. I cut the wires to the lights, the recessed lights that are underneath the cabinet. So I'm gonna have to piece those back together once I get ready to put that up. And I'm just deconstructing everything. So we're going to be taking the wall down, and we're going to be exposing the black, whatever that is that came with the van. I don't know what they call that, but we're going to be exposing that, taking that down, and taking it all the way to the bare insulation and the bare metal of the van. So that way I can take my furring strips and go ahead and attach them directly to the metal. Now, don't fear, because I'm not going to be wasting anything. All of this wood is going to be used over again. The wood that I'm taking off the wall right now will go right back up there. The furring strips that are vertical are going to go right back up there as well. And we're just going to have the excess furring strips that I had horizontal, taking the extra weight off. And wherever I can reuse those furring strips in the van bill, because I'm not through with my van bill yet, wherever I can reuse those furring strips in the van bill, because they're already painted with the waterproof mildew protector, I will definitely be using those furring strips wherever I can use them in the van. So if you guys are not subscribed to the channel already, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit the notification bell so you can see the deconstruction, because pretty much this is day one and I'm basically starting over. Also, if you have any questions at this point about anything that I've done thus far or anything that I am about to redo, now is the time to ask those questions so that you can, if you're in the process of doing a van bill or you're going to be doing a van bill, you can go ahead and get your questions answered. And as you can see, once I expose the whole wall, you can see that these furring strips were really up here, and it really made my van bill and my wall really sturdy. And that's why I initially did my framing this way, and it also gave me a good place to tuck my wires in. However, it was definitely an overkill and unnecessary. So do what makes you happy. If you want to do a framing like this and that's how sturdy you want your van build to be, then definitely do it this way. I love the way I framed my van, but like I say, it took away inches and it was unnecessary and it added extra weight. So I'm deciding to double back to make that change, to make that correction, because it was unnecessary. We're still going to have a van build that is just as sturdy, but we just won't have the extra weight and we won't be taking away extra inches in the van. So even though this is a lot of work, you guys, when you're not happy with something, don't settle, because at the end of the day, when you settle, it's gonna bug you, and it's gonna always bother you. And once you continue to go forward and not make that change, then you're gonna get to a point where it's gonna be too late to go back, and you're just gonna have to live with it, but it's gonna bug you forever. And I was to the point in my van build where it wasn't too late to go back. It was bugging me. So I wanted to go back and make the change so that way I can live with the decisions that I've made and I don't have to worry about it bugging me. So I hope this video is helpful. I hope this video inspires you and lets you know also that you will make mistakes in your van build, and sometimes you won't make the mistakes, realize that you made the mistakes until after the fact. And it's up to you if you want to go ahead and correct that mistake at that time, or it's up to you if you want to live with it. And as I stated before, sometimes things are not necessarily a mistake. It was just a choice that you made that you can definitely live with. And but it's up to you if you want to live with it. So at this point, I didn't want to live with the weight of my van being heavier than it had to be, and I didn't want to live with the extra inches that are being taken away from my living space in the van. So I am looking at the man in the mirror, and I decided to make a change. change, okay? So anyway, you guys, I thank you guys so much for watching. Again, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be notified each and every time I upload a new video. And don't forget to come back, because this is day 1 of the deconstruction, and the van bill will resume and start tomorrow, because I will be putting the furring strips back up there the way that I want to put them up there. So make sure you stay tuned for that video.